for Los Angeles. CP3 at point with Reddick there at the backcourt. And inside at center, a long 6'11", the skyscraping big man out of Texas A&M, DeAndre Jordan. Then there's Jared Dudley, and it's Griffin in at the 4 slot. And for Miami, Chalmers and D. Wade are the guards. And playing at the 5, the always versatile 6'11" star big man, able to score inside and out, Chris Bosh. And it's LeBron James, and it's Haslam in at the power forward.
Tough assignment for that defender with the size mismatch we're seeing.
Yeah, I just don't think he's big enough to handle it. The Heat have magnificent talent, but even coming off an NBA title, they had never put their name into the conversation of the great teams until last spring when they went on that amazing 27-game winning streak.
Back to LeBron. 3 on the clock. And he dunks it down.
Man, he is tough to keep up with. He's got so much quickness.
And for the Heat, they were staring right at the 72 Lakers win record, and I'm sure everyone remembers, but ultimately they would fall, Steve, to the Bulls after 27 consecutive wins.
Yeah, that streak to me was one of the great feats in NBA history. Winning 27 games in a row in the regular season, so difficult, but it showed you what the Heat were made of. They really were battling every night, and I thought that put them on a great run heading into the playoffs.
Now it's sent it down to Doris Burke, who is able to catch up with Coach Doc Rivers.
We talked about Chris Bosh, and he talked about the skill set and what makes him so difficult to guard. He told me he's very slippery in the post. You think you have him contained, and he'll just wiggle around his guy for a layup. We can never act as if he has nowhere to go down low. He finds space and room all the time. Guys?
And as always, Doris, thank you.
You know, the big knock on Blake Griffin through the beginning of his career is that he struggled with his free throws. He worked at it, and last season had the highest free throw percentage of his career. Well done by Blake. He's got to continue to improve there.
LeBron against Dudley. LeBron dishes to Wade. Takes a 3. Good, and the assist goes to LeBron. Wade's got his first bucket of the game and is on the board for 3.
And Kevin, he's really solidified his role as the closer on this team. You know, Miami struggled to figure out whether they'd go to LeBron or Bosh or Wade at first. I think Wade has become the guy.
Well, I tell you what, it's nice to have 2 guys that are capable of closing, Steve. And I agree with you, though. His aggressiveness and confidence probably give him a slight edge in closing over LeBron. You can play great defense on him, but he still typically finds a way to get the shot he wants.
And for Blake Griffin, of course, draws fouls in bunches. In fact, last season, around 67% from the free throw line.
A major improvement. He was closer to 50% the year before that. So, you know, he'd like to even get better than 67, but that's serviceable. That's to the point where you're going to make people pay if they foul you. So I like what Griffin has done as far as the improvement is concerned.
He almost got to that shot in time, but not quite. You can't touch the ball once it's on the way down.
And that call gets an instant reaction from the fans.
Well, that's a whistle that did not go over very well.
There's 18 seconds left to play in the first. Here's Cole. Back to LeBron. LeBron left side. And that one's good. LeBron's got 5 now.
Boy, he's so hard to stop, guys, because he poses a ton of matchup problems for the defense.
It could go. No good. And that concludes the first quarter of play. Heat out front. They're up by 5. Back. And the first quarter is in the books. Second about ready to get underway. And let's quickly break down the game we've seen from Miami, guys.
Just the start they wanted to this game. Solid offense. They got good ball movement. They established a nice rhythm.
Yeah, not stagnant at all. Free-flowing and fluid at the offensive end.
Collison inside. Working on James. Crawford passes to Collison. Dishes it to Barnes. Here's Mullins. He gets the shot to fall, and the defender wasn't set. He's called for the block and a 3-point play chance here. The Clippers shooting their first free throw of the night.
Well, you look at the numbers, Kevin. Last year, they were around 71% from the line as a team, so not a very good number there.
And it's something they know that if they improve, can really have a big impact on their success. Well, I tell you what, the Clippers playing in the Western Conference knew they'd have to take care of business facing Eastern Conference opponents, and they did. 21-9 against the East, and a bunch of highlight reel plays along the way. Just got a little careless on that pass. They should be able to connect on those.
The Clippers trail. And here's Collison. He hasn't yet put up any points in this one. Dudley. And a miss there on the triple. And for the Clippers against the East, they had a winning record against every division out there. That's exactly what any coach, Steve, would hope for at the start of the season.
And you'll remember the Clippers went on that big streak in December, and I think the early part of the season they won 17 games in a row. A lot of those games out on the road back east. So I thought that established the tone for the Clippers for last year.
And Doris Burke has a report for us from the sideline.
Hi, guys. There was a time when Chris Bosh wasn't sure how he'd play at center. He tried to bulk up and change his approach. But he said, quote, after about 3 years, I said, forget it and just be myself. I'm never going to be big and just bulky like that. Now he says, quote, I know it's unorthodox, but I'm not going to waste my time trying to bang in the post against bigger guys. I'm just going to be all over the court. And because of that, I think I've become a much better player. Kevin?
Not the biggest guy, but boy, he is quick, Doris. I think that's one of his advantages. 1:11 left in the first half of the game. So timeout called here, the first for Los Angeles. Los Angeles making a switch here. Griffin's checked in. Here's Mullins. He's covered by Bosh. Here's Crawford. And he lays it straight in.
Took advantage of some shoddy defense there. They've got to at least get a finger on it.
51 seconds left in the second quarter. And Cole kicks to LeBron. Pass to Bosh. Good, and the assist goes to LeBron.
Nice pass. That one was right on target.
Clippers trail by 4. Outside Collison. Collison off the pick from Griffin. Doubled by Cole. Mullins. He's guarded by Battier. Barnes dishes to Griffin. 5 on the clock. The Clippers need to get off a shot. And that one's good. Barnes. For Miami, they've gone 2 of 4 shooting the ball here in the second. Barnes against LeBron. Ray Allen is on the wing. Passes it to Bosh. Back to Allen. From outside the arc. Again, Allen missing. Throws it from deep. Shot is off. Close game as we wrap up the second quarter. Heat lead by 1.
And now, brought to you by Sprint.
It's time for the Sunday night halftime report. The Heat are giving it everything they've got. With 2 quarters left to play, they've been an offensive juggernaut, scoring with impunity. LeBron playing well in the first half. He's picked up 5 points, and he's been able to provide some nice assists as well.
The Sprint halftime report, presented by Sprint.
And now the start of the second half. Neither side jumping out ahead through the first 2 quarters.
One of the things that really jumps out at you about the Clippers is their depth. Really impressive. I mean, they've surrounded their stars with a bench that includes Jamal Crawford, who was second in the voting for 6th man of the year. They've got a nice second unit.
Goes back up. Haslam, that's good. Haslam's got the first points of the second half here for the Heat.
You got to put bodies on the glass right there. They just are not getting it done on the boards.
Yeah, they've got to do a much better job of going harder than that to the glass.
And we talked about the bench for the Clippers last season. Also guys like Matt Barnes and Lamar Odom. Steve, some good defensive tenacity there too.
Yeah, they had an edge. You know, Barnes really gave them some toughness and some grit. I thought Crawford's shooting gave them some balance where they had a good offense to go with good defense. And then Bledsoe slashing. They were a lot of fun to watch, that bench unit.
Griffin passes to Redick. Count it! And he'll have a chance for a three-point play. That's on LeBron James.
How did he get that to go?
Even after the whistle, I like the awareness, the alertness, and the presence of mind to finish the play.
That one drops. He ties it up.
Only 3 teams in the entire Eastern Conference had a better than 500 record against the West, and no surprise the Heat were one of those 3, and they were dominant against Western Conference opponents all year long.
And Miami calls their first time out of the game. While getting on to what you were saying about the Heat versus the West, they ended up 25-5, which is incredible, Steve, given how many tough teams that are in the Western Conference.
That's amazing, Kevin. They had a better record against the West than they did against the East in terms of their winning percentage. So I think that speaks to just how motivated Miami was when they went out on the road to the West in particular to really show everybody how good they were.
And let's catch up with our sideline reporter, Doris Burke. Doris, over to you.
Hey, guys. Well, the Clippers owe a lot of their success to how they bonded with team chemistry. Chris Paul said, quote, "It matters a lot when you really, truly care about somebody. You'll dive on the floor for them. You'll run through that screen for them. You really genuinely care how they feel. It just means a little bit more." That was certainly evident in how they played last year, as well as how they interacted. We'll see if they can keep that same fun going this year, guys.
Yeah, plenty of camaraderie in that locker room. Thanks, Doris.
You know, they haven't been able to open up a big lead, but the rebounds are starting to add up for them. They may be able to pull away a little bit.
Yeah, they've been doing the dirty work inside, Steve, playing a very tough brand of basketball.
Wade kicks to LeBron. The dish now to Chalmers. 6 to shoot. Miami no good on that time either.
Now you can see why the defense is willing to let him take that shot. That's really not his range.
Pulls from the top of the key. He hits the back iron and sinks the shot. Redick's got 7. Here's Chalmers. 8-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. Outside Bosch. LeBron outside. Wade, defended by Redick. Kicks it out to LeBron. Another miss by LeBron.
I think the game plan needs to change here, guys, if they're going to get out of the hole, because he is not helping their offense.
Back to Paul. And that's going to do it for the third quarter. Los Angeles on top, up 4. And we've got more NBA action on 2K Sports. And we're set to start the action up here in the fourth quarter. And if it's anything like the first 3, we should be in for a treat. And guys, what do you think about the hustle stance for the Clippers?
Their defense has been outstanding, Kevin, closing out on shots, blocking a lot of them as well.
You know, one other area they're doing well in is steals. I mean, they've knocked the ball loose a number of times and been able to track it down after the fact. Boy, the prettiest play in basketball to me. Execute it to perfection.
I don't think you're going to get an argument there. Everybody loves the alley-oop.
Well, unless you're the team getting dunked on, of course.
You can see the eye contact there. Gave a little nod and then burst to the rim for the alley-oop slam.
No doubt, Clark. They're teammates with a terrific feel for each other out on the floor.
And what a play to make it a close game, a potential momentum builder.
Steps back and fires. Another one falls for the Clippers. So it's Miami now. They trail by 6. They need a good offensive possession.
Yeah, they've had a number of empty ones, a long time without a basket.
They got to find something, you're right. Wade hits the jumper.
Boy, that was impressive, Clark. He did not hesitate to take the ball right up against the bigger defender.
Boy, I like that aggressive mindset there, Steve.
Now, here's Redick. Wade is covering. And Redick kicks the ball. Again, Los Angeles.
It's hard to imagine them not running away with this game if they can continue to shoot the ball like they have been.
Steve, everything is falling for them this half, and they haven't had any empty possessions, scoring on every trip.
Timeout called, the Heat. They trail by 6. 1:26 left to play in the final quarter. Let's catch up with Doris from the sideline.
Thanks, guys. I got a chance to hear what Eric Spoelstra was saying to his team. He told them, guys, we're getting bogged down in the half court. Let's get out and run, see what's available in early offense. If there's nothing there, we can always back it out and run our sets. Good advice, Kevin.
The feed to Griffin. Haslam on him. Griffin kicks to Paul. This one for three. Chris Bosh with the rebound. The Heat trail by 4. LeBron with it. Now guarded by Dudley. LeBron drives in. And boy, that looked like goaltending. Yes, it is. And so they will avoid the basket there.
Well, once a shooter, always a shooter. J.J. Redick, one of the great marksmen of all time at Duke in the college game. And it's kept on rolling here in the NBA. He's got deep range on his three. Can spot up and shoot from anywhere, and also put the ball on the floor a couple times and create a shot inside.
Great shot is right. And like you said, not only threes, but Steve, any shot where you give Redick a chance to set his feet and get a clear view of the hoop. His shot form is just too consistent for him to miss. He is one of those players who works on that just so diligently. You know he's going to find a degree of success every time out there. And they double him up with LeBron. Back to Chalmers. Shot clock at 5. Baseline jumper. Yes! What a beautiful shot to pull him to within 3.
Man, how'd he get that thing to go?
When you're hot, you're in fuego.
I think we'll see them burn the clock a bit here.
You know, I think that's probably a smart move.
I think so, too. The 10-footer. Paul can't get that one to fall.
You'd expect him to nail that one being that close to the hoop.
It's LeBron with the drive. Allen outside. To tie it up. Buries the triple. And oh, that was an enormous three-pointer.
This has been a different kind of game here in the second half. I thought both clubs a little slow in the first.
No question, but they're really going at it now.
And the Clippers call time here. The score is tied at 30. 7 seconds left in the fourth quarter. 7 seconds left in the game. Here's Paul. Missed.
The defense was ready for him that time, and they had to be. He is so powerful in the lane.
Here's LeBron. Oh, and a chance to win the game, but the last second shot is offline. Regulation is ended, and we're heading to overtime. Back. Well, if you're just joining us, the intensity has really heated up in this one. As we watch this one go now to overtime. Paul kicks to Barnes. Outside, Griffin. There's the pass to Barnes. Griffin sets the screen for Barnes. Back to Griffin. Battier with the steal. And here we go. Wade heading to the hoop.
Well, that's the easiest opportunity an offense can get off a steal.
Exactly. No defense for that.
The Clippers trail. Paul with the ball. Pass to Crawford. Stolen by Chalmers. Wade with it, and Crawford picks him up defensively. Wade drives in. Crawford with the steal. Feeds it to Griffin. The shot is off, and Miami the other way now. Chalmers dishes to Wade. Guarded by Crawford. Wade kicks to Chalmers. Can't get the three to fall. The game has come down to this.
Ginormous possession here.
What intensity. Barnes kicks to Paul. A floater. It's hauled in by the Heat. He lobs it up. Money!
That's a real alley-oop that time, partner.
The pass, Clark, the catch, the dunk, all of it perfect.
Precision at its finest.
Yeah, and it all had to be perfect and in precision. That's not nearly as easy as they made it look.
5 seconds separating the shot and game clocks. Nails it! And he has brought them to within 2 points.
This is the red-hot version of Chris Paul right there.
The Heat shooting one of the high points for them in this game at 54%. And they foul intentionally. They're going to have to do that now again and again. They're not in the penalty yet. DeAndre Jordan's checked in for Byron Mullins. And so they foul intentionally.
Yeah, you can't let them pound the ball and just milk those precious seconds away.
No other option here but to foul and hope for a few misses at the line.
First free throw is good, and that makes it a 3-point lead. And so both free throws are good. And it's a 4-point ball game.
That was a critical trip to the stripe. They have a 2-possession lead now.
Los Angeles calls timeout. They're down by 4. 19 seconds left to play in OT, and this battle continuing. What do you think, guys?
Well, the way to go here, you got to get a quick basket and then a foul. That's the only course of action at this point.
And it's key who they foul. Don't send an excellent free throw shooter to the line here.
Griffin, he's guarded by Hazard.
Oh, what a basket, and at the perfect time.
How about the courage and backbone of this guy? Wow.
They're going to prolong the game here with an intentional foul. He drops the first one, and that makes it a 3-point lead. He's off on the free throw, unable to get that second one to drop in. Paul with the ball.
A three-pointer here might have us headed to another overtime period.
It's good. This game is all even. And the Heat call time here. Here's Wade. Oh, no good there. The potential game winner off the mark. Another tie, and we're going to have a second overtime. And another overtime is in store for us. This one has been extremely tight. Great action all game long. We'll see now if fatigue, guys, plays a factor. That's the question. Here's Paul. And the go-ahead bucket, no good.
You know, typically, guys, he has the body control to finish when he's in that tight. I'm not sure what happened there.
Wade kicks to Hazard. That falls. Nice speed that time from Dwayne Wade. And the Heat lead by 2. Ball outside. Dudley with a screen on Chalmers. Back to Paul. Paul, right side. He feeds it to Dudley. Shot clock at 6. To take the lead. Bosch grabs the miss.
I don't mind that shot, though. He's an excellent three-point shooter. He's just showing a lot of confidence there.
I'm right with you there, Steve. I mean, let it flow when you're feeling it.
Griffin with the steal. Paul against Chalmers. Here's the floater.
Not trying to rattle any rims or racks there. Just up and in with the finger roll.
And Miami shooting 53% from the floor. They're locked in. He dishes it to Wade. Wade gets a screen from Hazard. Connects.
Give an assist there, not for the pass, but for the solid screen set on the inside that freed him up and made the layup possible.
5-second differential between the shot clock and the game clock. Dudley with a screen for Paul. Kicks to Dudley. Back to Paul. 6 on the shot clock. Got a piece of it. It's stolen by Hazard. And they commit an intentional foul. We'll see another one of those so they can get into the penalty. And he commits the intentional foul. Good on the first, and that makes it a 3-point lead. And so he drops them both. It's a 4-point ballgame.
No mistakes there. I think you can close the book on this one, guys. It's done.
Los Angeles calls timeout. They're behind by 4. 5 seconds left to play in the second overtime period. Could not get a winner with just one. Right, what do you think?
And they'll need a quick basket after this timeout, and you got to try to force a turnover and hope for a miracle.
Steve, even if they get it, I'd be surprised if they can foul with any time left on the clock.
And that's why teams emphasize the use of screens and picks, just to get you some open looks like that one.
And so this win by Miami in a tight game. Clark, a double overtime.